Barry Lynn is the executive director of the Open Markets Institute, and will just provide a few closing remarks to this panel and to the Future of Democracy event. Over to you, Barry.
Yeah, thanks, Courtney. And on the thing, it said I would have 10 minutes. I'm not going to take 10. I'll take 6 or 7, because I know you guys are at the end of your a long 2 days of conversation. You know, we all know that the printing press enabled a new model for sharing information, for debate, for self-illumination. It didn't happen all at once. In 1620, a Dutch geographer invented a press that dramatically sped up printing. It made printing much cheaper. One result was a fantastic, new, glorious ferment of ideas and argument. Until this point, ideas remained largely subject to control by the state, by the church. Even the Enlightenment, powered by the first generation of printing, took place mainly among elites, behind the walls and doors of castles and villas. Within 20 years, this new Dutch press, this people's press, had enabled revolution, intellectual, political, social, spiritual revolution. As the poet John Milton wrote in his incredibly important essay, Areopagitica, the censors had brought a famine upon our minds. The goal of censors, he wrote, is that we shall know nothing but what is measured to us by their bushel. Thanks to the new presses, writing was much harder to control. It was now the people, Milton wrote, who are disputing, reasoning, reading, inventing, discoursing, even to a rarity and admiration, things never before discoursed or written of. It is here, 4 centuries ago, that we see the birth of our world, our way of thinking, our way of making community, our way of seeking, our way of dreaming. 4 centuries ago, the beginning of modern printing. This is the beginning of our modern dreaming, seeking, problem-solving democratic mind. Today, in America and in democracies around the world, when we measure our freedom by the measures that were created 4 centuries ago, are books available? Are newspapers available? Can I, as a writer, write what I want? Can I, as a reader, find what I want? What we find today is the greatest choke pointing of control over what we read and see, over our thinking and dreaming in 400 years. The greatest constriction on our intellects, our souls, our dreams in 400 years. I don't need to go into depth on this because over the last 2 days, we've heard many terrifying stories. The overarching picture, today the information system that for 4 centuries has supported our system of liberal democracy is still above the waves. As we stand on the deck, we can see the faces of our friends, the familiar stars and headlands that have guided us for so long. We still retain our liberal and democratic ways of seeing and thinking, but the bow of our ship is underwater. We are mere moments away from darkness, ignorance, servility, political collapse, economic collapse, systems collapse, information collapse, as Maria made so eloquently clear. Over the last 2 days, we have discussed in depth the nature of this crisis, the source of the crisis, the tools to solve the crisis, the regulatory principles we historically use to structure our information systems. I truly believe we know what to do and we know how to do it. We also know why to do it, because if we rebuild an open, stable, democratic, trustworthy information system, we can have everything we want. The lesson of the past 400 years, the lesson distilled by Milton, when we use our power to distribute their power, this makes the individual person more free to create prosperity and abundance and security and resilience, to innovate and build what is new. Fix this problem, this information crisis, and we can fix absolutely every threat that we now face today. Every threat. Free-thinking, free-acting people can master every threat we face today. So the first thing I want to do is thank all of the speakers who carried us to this point of knowing what to do and how to do it, especially Maria Ressa. I don't have many personal heroes. Maria is one. Margaret Vestager, Mario Monti, Michael McGrath, Jonathan Cantor, Jamie Raskin, and Cory Booker. These were great talks that we've heard the last couple of days. Alexandra Gisa, one of Europe's true leaders. One of the true leaders in this moment. One of the few people who are out there fighting the right fight. Every one of you in our audience, every other speaker. I also want to thank the people who worked on this conference, because I'll tell you, putting on a 2-day transnational, transatlantic conference ain't easy. You know, our teams at Open Markets and Article 19 did an absolutely fantastic job. All of you, all of the members of both of these teams did a fantastic job. I have never been more proud of any event that we have hosted. Hey, thank you. So we know what to do, and we know how to do it. Almost sounds like a Sex Pistols song. Which leaves, what does this leave? We got to go out and goddamn do it. The last couple of days, many people have asked me why I am an optimist. I am an optimist because I truly believe the great majority of people in our democratic societies are still rational enough to choose wisely between nothing and all, between hell and a dignified life of true intellectual, political, and spiritual freedom, which is the choice we face today: hell or freedom. We know what to do, and we know how to do it, and I'll end by quoting Maria Ressa. Stop thinking, stop debating, stop cowering, start moving, then keep going. So anyway, thank you all.